I'm passing through. I got all dressed up for you guys. Later this afternoon, I will be on set back in the Marvel Universe. It's really funny to be to work for Marvel because you'll go, last season there's a day where we're sitting on this giant crane that's on a car because it's falling out of the sky, and I have ropes and I'm flying it, and the wind, and I'm getting pulled out of a flying car, and then I go to the grocery store later that evening, and I'm like, do I want brown rice or basmati?
And then you use your superpowers to choose the rice.
Exactly. Yeah. Just bring the thing there. It's definitely really fun.
You're making us jealous. People say the universe is expanding. The Marvel universe is definitely expanding.
Yes.
It seems like every day it's getting bigger.
It's huge. It's kind of this massive part of pop culture right now, and it's incredible to have a little slice of that and have a piece of that I'm really proud of, and being a huge nerd dork. It's a dream come true to be able to play a superhero. I don't even think Sky would be a superhero yet. I like to say she has her superhero training bra on. So she's working up to it.
She's working.
She's getting her superhero sea legs.
Now, as it expands, this universe, with films and sequels coming out, that impacts your show, which is kind of a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Once they announce that huge lineup of all their movies coming out, it's so crazy to think about because the writers really keep us in the dark for our own good, because you really don't want to know. You really want to know as much as the character knows. Otherwise, it can crossing the worlds gets very confusing. So it's so crazy to think of what kind of stuff could happen next, because it's thinking about what's going on right now. Last year at the TCAs, to be talking about this it's mind-blowing.
All the stuff that's happening,
yeah.
you mean? Yeah. And I bet you a lot more is going to happen, isn't it?
Yes. I'm so curious to want to know what next year at the TCAs I will be talking about, and what kind of problems and challenges will be.
Where is Sky at, and what is she going through?
Sky, I think when we pick up March 3rd, in the second half of the season, it's going to be a lot of her dealing with the loss of Trip. She feels a sense of responsibility for his death, and also she has these newfound powers, and she's not quite sure if they're even hers, and if she's even causing these earthquakes that are happening when she gets emotional or gets upset, and a lot of it is she's worried about what's going to happen to her relationship with Coulson and with the rest of the team, and she's a huge advocate for being truthful, but especially with her relationship with Coulson. It's always like, tell me what's going on. And all of a sudden now she's the one hiding something, and I think she's not comfortable with that. But she's nervous about what's going to happen, once they found out that she has powers. And if anything, Coulson and the rest of the team are going to be the ones trying to probably protect her from other parts of the world that are going to be very interested in what her powers have to offer. There's going to be a lot of stuff.
You lived and worked abroad, right?
I did. In China,
which is fascinating.
Yes.
So you must have maybe a better sense than most of the global impact that these characters have.
I actually went to China on the hiatus last season, and it's incredible how many people this show speaks to, and I think that's what's so incredible about Marvel, is that anyone from around the world can connect with one of these characters on the show. And it's a lot about being different and feeling different, and how people who are different are criticized and have a harder time. And I think everyone can relate to that in some way. I definitely can. When people go, how does it feel to play a superhero? And it's really just about playing someone who's different, and that's how I see it. It's not,
Who are the fans that really relate to her that you meet?
I have a lot of people saying they're so thankful, young female fans. I so love seeing female Marvel fans who are such strong advocates of strong women characters who aren't afraid to be tough and strong and stand up for themselves, but also be emotional and be raw and show their vulnerability. And I think that's what's so great about Sky. She just is who she is, and she's unapologetic for any of her emotions, for she's gone through so much on the season, and I have too as an actress going through this season and shooting the season. You know, we had a lot of pressure on the show the first season, and it was not easy. There was Marvel fans are the best, but they're also hard to please because they have an expectations by the comic books and by the movies. And we were the firstborn child of the Marvel television unit or whatever. And there's a lot of pressure on us. So it's I feel like I've been living a parallel life to S.H.I.E.L.D. going through all of this and being on this crazy journey.